Hello everyone, Tyler Rotz here again, and you may have noticed I've changed a little bit since the last part. So what exactly happened between the last part and this part is my brothers got the game and we got online and started having a ton of fun playing this game multiplayer, and I mean a ton of fun. And we'll kind of go over what happened, what items I got. I did kill uh, one boss solo that saw me struggling with. I went ahead and I beat it solo because we went down there to kind of kill it. I wasn't literally looking for help, but they wanted to kill it too. And in between runs, I just wound up killing it myself while I was waiting for them to get back. But we'll talk about that. So with the multiplayer, we had a ton of fun with it. The big thing is that roaming around in the open world, particularly with, a group on comms, is very MMO-ish, but in the Souls fashion, it's very fun. There are a couple issues with this that we noticed. My big hangup was that you couldn't go in and explore the dungeons just from the open world, right? It actually locks you out of a lot of the dungeons, and you have to go and kill an open world boss, which it could be technical, because they don't want the summons to stay out in the open world and then the host go in and then just kind of get abandoned by the summons. Um, that could be the issue. I would have probably fixed that by just pulling the summons in because it makes far more of a flow experience, particularly in these early dungeons because they're so short. It did get it did get annoying, but it would have been a lot more seamless if we could have just wandered in. The area bosses are, well, most of them are super fun in multiplayer. Like I spent 2-3 hours on the tree sentinel, and my brothers were able to beat it in all of 15 minutes because we were all down there and helping. A lot of people will say it's probably because my character is a little over leveled at this point for this area. That isn't necessarily true. Obviously, we were doing damage, and some of the bosses were very much easily done in multiplayer, but I believe that my character in particular gets a pretty significant handicap when I'm summoned by people, when I force summons by people in lower levels. So I don't think it was necessarily me. I think it was just the multiplayer aspect of it. That being said, some of the bosses were actually almost, I won't say designed with multi and player in mind, but they stood far more of a chance in multiplayer. The funny one that I wasn't really expecting was the watchdog, the battleground watchdog over there in the catacombs or whatever, the weird cat-looking statue thing. That one was actually pretty well designed for multiplayer. It didn't let us beat on it because it had hyper armor and would just hyper through our attacks, so you had to back off. It had a lot of AoE attacks, which was really nice. So we were actually, oh yeah, it wasn't difficult, but you could definitely see where this was a funner fight for multiplayer instead of some of the bosses where it was just run up and beat the crap out of them. My brother Lucas got this uppercut move on his greatsword, and basically he just throw enemies into the air and we just run up and murder them. My other brother Dylan was like, in the open world it's kind of like we're piranhas and we're just swimming around and then na swimming around na. So again, super fun. We did not get invaded. I was super disappointed in it. I don't know if it was our internet connection, something specific we were doing, or perhaps it's just that nobody is invading right now. But I was looking forward to it. We didn't actually get invaded by anybody. It was unfortunate. The other issue I was having with multiplayer was actually Agheel, the dragon, right? Trying to get in my brother's games, which we did have a super easy time getting into those games, but before we kind of figured out a system to kind of help us out get picked up by everybody and everybody into a group, I did get pulled in by some randoms, which isn't a bad thing. Like I said, you guys saw me, I enjoyed helping randoms. The problem is Agheel itself. Agheel the dragon is not designed as a multiplayer boss. And when I say that, it's not it makes the fight more difficult is what I'm trying to get at, right? Agheel is designed to be fought with Torrent. And there's a bunch of randoms that were pulling me in and having me fight Agheel. And don't get wrong, I did my best, but that boss is slow moving and has massive AoEs. So what typically winds up happening actually is you get in there, you get some good damage, he jumps up in the air, and you're trying to run away as fast as you can, but the AoE is just too big and you can't get out of it. Torrent makes that fight super easy. If you're wanting to go for more challenge, man, just go for it. But I would not recommend summoning help for Agheel. Just use Torrent, learn the fight. You guys saw. My brother was complaining about it because he wasn't good at fighting with Torrent, but still within 2-3 tries he actually killed the boss. So that would be another kind of complaint I had. Some of the area bosses are not designed in multiplayer in mind; they're more designed for Torrent, and you still get pulled in with those fights. The other, like I said, I kind of talked about the grouping aspect of it. The totem is super nice when you're just wanting randoms because you can just put it where you could just use it and then it goes to the summoning pool and randoms will summon you. The finger is actually used to write your summon sign, like in the old Souls games, and that is actually super nice for group play because you can move it away from the totems. That way, only your group knows where it's at. And in fact, in some of the catacombs, it's almost kind of designed that way, right? Where the groups can put their signs next to the site of grace. That way the groups get picked up, and then the randoms actually go to the totem, and you have to go a little bit farther down in order to get to the totem. So that way they're not actually, constantly looking at each other. I said, I can't stress enough how much fun it was. We did kill, so I wound up killing the Night Watcher Night boss. Just I randomly bumped into it while I was running around waiting for people, and then we went down and we killed the tree spirit down below. I'll post that video of just the kill. It's not going to be very long, 4 minutes. It goes to show just how exploring and getting more equipment actually helps you in the game, right? Like, getting that equipment, the fight became, I won't say trivial, but it became far, far easier, right? And I believe it's going to be the same thing with Tree Sentinel on subsequent playthroughs, is that if you just go off, get some equipment, get Torrent, get some more options under your belt, these fights become far, far easier. We did get some stuff from him doing that fight, namely this dude, Banished Knight Olag, one of the 2 knights known as the Wings of the Storm. After his banishment, he attracted the notice of the Grace-given Lord, and later, having slain 100 traitors as the Lord's hand, Olag earned the hero's honor of Bird Tree Burial. And then, we also got a Golden Seed, which we know what those do. But up top, against that one bigger dude, we actually did get a seal, the Dragon Communion seal. The sacrificial devouring of the heart gives power. Indeed, Dragon Communion is too primal in nature for the term incantation to be appropriate. This seal scales incantations with one's arcane attribute. So we got that. That was some fun stuff. We got a weapon art from the Night Watcher. I think it was Repeating Thrust. If we can, yeah, Repeating Thrust. Repeating Thrust twists to build power, then unleash a flurry of thrusts. So, not too much lore there with the Night Watch Horseman. I switched up my fashion souls. I'm wearing Exile, then Caden, and armor. And then the helmet, I'm wearing this, which it actually caused me to take more damage, but I don't know. I just enjoy the fashion of it right now. The other thing is, like, playing with friends, you find things that aren't necessarily, what would we call it, obvious to you, right? So I did, my brother found this over here that I had just completely ignored. We'll take this guy out real quick. fishing just to get my health back up right there. That talisman is still doing work. Well, we got that critical attacks give us increased HP. Or increase our HP. So yeah, brother found this in his world. It's just the Arrow's Reach talisman. Increase carried by hunters of beasts. Increase the effective range of bows. So that's really it. We did find some more sights of grace. There we go. How we zoom out right here. We found this one right here. There was another one that I think we found somewhere, but yeah, no, it's just, it goes to show that you miss a lot of stuff going through this game, and sometimes it really helps to have different eyes on it, which, again, these games, in my opinion, are designed to be more multiplayer than single player. Think kind of like RuneScape, where you can go through single player, but the game is kind of designed for with multiplayer in mind, so it's super fun to go through. So the other thing is, you're probably wondering why I moved up here to this Everjail. Well, that's because in between times when we weren't doing anything, we were just kind of, you know, bull crapping with each other. Or I'd actually come here and I'd practice this fight, right? And I've discovered that the buckler shield is so much nicer for parrying, and parrying is definitely really good on this guy. The other fun thing we discovered is that these Everjail fights have to be done solo. When I say have to be done solo, like if you have a multiplayer summon pal with you, it won't be lit up. You can't click on it. Or at least that's what my brother was telling me, because we found this place. He's like, what is this place? I'm like, oh, it's an Everjail. Go in there and fight it. He's like, well, I can't. There's nothing happening here. This looks important. So that is one of those cool aspects of it, and almost makes me feel like a lot of the bosses, or a lot more of the bosses I should say, were kind of designed with more multiplayer in mind, and, you know, designed to, you know, have a buddy there fighting with you. Like the Godric fight had a summon dude right outside. Down there on the shore caves, right, with the two demi-human chieftains, and there was a summon sign right outside kind of saying, hey, this fight, well, still, you can still do it solo. It's more designed for multiplayer, so bring a friend. If you don't have a friend, we have one here with you. Use summon spirits, yada yada yada. These fights, however, are more, you will do this solo. This is a test of your skills, and we'll give you some rewards afterward. So, we're going to start this right here by just going in and starting the fight with the Crucible Knight. And when I say practicing, that's actually what I mean. I was just sitting here practicing parrying him, getting him to phase 2, and then parrying him in phase 2. So we'll see how long it actually takes me to do it. So I have slept since then. Oh, messed it up right there. This guy got into the flow. that's a threefer. I never knew, like, as much as I practiced that, I did not know that that was actually a threefer. There you go. Definitely recommend parrying that guy. Aspects of the Crucible Tail. Oh, that's right. I get teleported out of the Everjail. Oh man, I really hope that wing move is badass. I don't know if that's going to be able to be used in PvP. Like, if it's just going to be terrible, but oh man, that's super fun. So, what aspects of the Crucible? Create supple tail to sweep area before caster. It is an incantation. One of the ancient Erd Tree incantations. Create a supple tail that sweeps through foes before the caster, charging enhance potency. This is a manifestation of the Erd Tree's primal vital energies, an aspect of the primordial crucible, where all life was once blended together. Sweet. Man, if I'm gonna have to be a faith build. Like, I don't want to be a faith build. Well, I would typically actually wind up being faith builds in most of these video games, but we can all admit that guy was cool, right? And then using dragon tails, using wings, angel wings to fly around. Oh man, that'd be so much fun. All right, well, let's continue on where we were, shall we? So we were up here at the lookout tower. We'll continue on down south of the lookout. Actually, no, we were at this place, right? We were at the Tombsword Catacombs. Is where we were. We had just beaten these Tombsword Catacombs. We were doing some PvE with friends. Let's get on Torrent. Get out of here. So that was another thing. We kind of did learn how... Oh, hello, there's a lot of here. You guys are really not letting me do shit. Or at least do the shit that I want to do. Guardian Garb. Guardian Greaves. Alright, so let's take a look at what we actually got there. First off, we got a flower. So that was fun. Sun-dried, tarnished golden sunflower. A large sunflower that blooms facing the Erd Tree. Material used for crafting found near minor Erd trees. Though wilted and faded, still retains holy essence. And then we got some armor. Okay. Engraved golden garb. worn by the guardians of the minor Erd trees. In accordance with an ancient pact with the Erd tree, it is said that their deaths led not to destruction, but instead to renewed eternal life as guardians. Oh, so that's why they look tree-like. They're protecting the old Erd trees. And we also got the Greaves. Yeah. There we go. Or I forget. We're going to put on our big boy shield. I like parrying. Parrying is far easier in this game for me than it is in Dark Souls 3, as you just saw. However, because of the amount of enemies, so shall we say, like you just saw, like there were 3 of them, parrying may not have been, in my opinion, was not the best option, right? And then just some of these fights, you can just, you know, backstab fish, so it's not super worth it to parry, in my opinion. Hello. Alexander, are you here? A bit too fast there. Oh. So probably not wanting to fight that guy with Torrent. But yeah, I was just testing it out. We'll come back at Stake America. So like this fight would be fun with multiplayer in mind. I mean, obviously, this is not difficult for me, single player eyes, or at least nothing I've seen yet makes it overly difficult. But yeah, it's just testing, right? Because in my opinion, ag kill is so much easier. With Torrent, you know, for me it was a little bit fun to kind of test out and see. Oh my. Stop doing R2s. That was another thing that my brother Dylan brought up. He's like, why are you doing full charged R2s? Do jump R2s. It does just as much stagger damage, I think, and it does takes less time to actually do it. So I said something that I may need to actually incorporate a little bit more into my stratagem, as it were. I feel like that attack is kind of like, get up off me. Oh. Oh my. Okay. That one got me. That one surprised me. So I was just like, oh, okay, charge slowly attack, spam, whatever, get out of my way. And then when it started shooting at me where he left it, I was like, oh, shit. So actually, guard can be best there. Ah, it broke my guard. Should have been up on that. Whew. And that last one kind of scared me there. Was not paying Ooh. Opulent Bubble Tier. Crimson Crystal Tier. Alright, let's take a look at what those were. So yeah, these are apparently for the wondrous physic, I'm guessing, since that's what everything on this line is. The crystal tier forms slowly over the ages where the Erd Tree's bounty falls to the ground. Can be mixed in the wondrous flask, resulting concoction gradually restores one's HP over time. The opulent bubble tier. Crystal tier forms slowly. Can be mixed in the wondrous flask, provides significant damage negation. However, this effect only occurs once and will expire after a certain duration. Interesting. Very interesting. Is there anything else around here? A lot more of those sunflowers, it looks like. Fill up some of my crimson tears. Oh. We actually discussed that, and my brother Lucas was like, oh, they'll always be flat. They'll always be Estus to me. I'm like, dude, it's so much easier just to call them flasks. You don't have to call them crimson tears or whatever. doesn't appear to be any more stuff around here. And yet, there are some things. Oh my. What is that? The bell tolls, as they say. Oh boy. What I'm trying to do is I'm thinking I can... Yeah, do just that. That's more what the heavy tech was kind of designed. That charge up, I think that's more designed for groups. That way you can just run through them. Minor urgency. Is there a way for me to interact with you, buddy? Step on me. Oh, hello. Spirit enemies are interesting. I'm wondering, actually, is that the church we were just at? No, that is something else. Oh, hello. Ooh, that was another thing we discovered. You see how there's two imps here, and one has a sword in its head? That means it costs 1. If there were 2 imps here with no swords in their head, it costs 2. And I am not going to waste my 1. We'll come back to that later after I do kind of a round table hold thing. And what, more bolts. Fourth Church of America. Another sacred tier. Nice. I'm getting the feeling that we're going to require a lot more of those sacred tiers in order to level it up. What I'd really like is a map of the area. Obviously, it's not a requirement. We're doing just fine as it is right now. I'm also very curious how I am going to get over there. Ooh, maybe he can tell me. Oh, there it is, the tower. Finally, I can return to our home, bathed in rays of gold. That may not be what he's referring to, then. Okay. I did see a dungeon, I believe. It may have been over here. Yeah. Dungeon. It's so weird that that's a term for this is a cave, not a dungeon, but I'm viewing them as kind of like dungeons. Found some graves. Summoning pool's now functional. Oh, you're all. Make me give up a shield, eh? Didn't expect poison. Poison. Didn't expect fog. Toxic mushroom. We're not gonna read that right now, just because it would appear that something is kind of happening. Do I need this torch? I want that. Give me that HP. For crawling finger remedy. Again, kind of pointing you towards, hey, brah. We put multiplayer in this game, use it. So. And again, me being stubborn. So boss is over there. Let's take a sippy. Oh. One way in, eh? Oh, hello. Immunizing cured meat. Nomadic Warriors Cookbook. This is actually going to be a pretty good haul. Hello. That tree will leave. So that's where we just came from. Poison bone dart. Okay, so there's the boss. I'm kind of curious. That's where we were. How many more? 3 flasks. Well, that did a great job of just completely messing me up. Alright, so and Scarlet Lot. So do I want this or this? Do I want it to last longer? Well, they gave us this. We'll try this. We'll see how this goes. Probably didn't need to burn that cured meat. Radiant Ember Medallion. Alright. That's it. That's all we got. Well, while we're safe here, we can go ahead and read some of what we got there. We got that cured meat, which we read. Poison dart. Animal bones sharpened into a knife for throwing. And with a poison-laced tip, craftable item. Throw at enemies to inflict damage and build up poison. Don't think we got toxic mushroom. Yeah. Mushroom covered in toxin, mold that grows in rotten lands. A skilled hand can repurpose its toxic mold into an effective ward against Scarlet Lot. Alright. Nomadic Cookbook number 8. Poison grease, drawstring poison grease. So yeah, poison cookbook. Aside of that, I can't really remember what else we got. I don't think it was anything overly important. But let's go ahead and return back to the entrance. Let's actually rest at this side of grace. Kind of our flask back, and actually we'll go ahead and cut this one right here. Thanks for listening. As I talked about multiplayer, and we'll pick this right up in the next one. Adios, everyone.